Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Every Day's a Train Wreck. I'm your host, Marley Majcher, and I am super excited. You guys won't hear this live, but we are filming this on Friday the 13th, which also happens to be Mercury in retrograde, which also happens to be, like I heard yesterday, and my friend Viola did not tell me, as far as I know, that like Mars and Jupiter and everybody else is in retrograde. And my friend told me that yesterday, and I was like, what in the world? My girl is dogging me. So I'm super excited. Back by popular demand is our favorite Italian Viola Murrone. This is, in case you guys are like looking for context here, this is Viola of the previous Hot Husband podcast. And she's going to talk Mercury retrograde. She's going to talk Friday the 13th. She's going to talk my recent train ride from hell and why I seem to not learn my lessons very well. So welcome, Viola. The wife of the hot husband, who is probably hotter herself as a wife. Anyway, going.
You have to do it.
I think we should do like literally, by the way, just so you guys know, not just like, oh, hey, chat in the podcast notes, whatever. The number of personal texts I received from my friend saying, OMG, the hot husband. Like, I'm sorry, but when I taped this with you last time, I did not think that what would go viral is like hot husband. Okay, but hot husband has evidently gone viral. And then, I don't know, I was talking to you yesterday and you flashed a photo of something, I don't know, from your phone or whatever. And I was like, fricker, that dude is hot. I mean, which I knew, but it just was reminded, and it was perfect for us to be taping this. So Viola, since you're doing double duty here, jump in, and where do you want to start? You get to pick. It's round robin Viola style. You want to start on Friday the 13th? You want to start on all these planets that are retrograde, what it means, why I can't find my way out of a paper bag as a result? Jump.
I would love to start with Friday the 13th, but first I want to thank you for having me again. It's always so much fun. I just love doing this.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, I obviously love doing it, and so does everybody else. I don't know if they think that we're going to auction off the hot husband at the end or what, but whatever. I'll just say that it's a teaser. Stay to the end. We're going to promise you a special prize.
Okay, so Friday the 13th is one of my favorite days, and it has such a bad rap that I'm always like forcing my opinion onto everybody.
Well, here's the place and today's the day. I really had no idea that it was one of your favorite days, which is like Little Miss Bubbly Hotshot. I'm just shocked. Okay, keep going.
You know, it's one of my favorite days. First of all, you know, you are the party goddess, the profit goddess. Right. And Friday the 13th is the day of the goddess.
Okay, so yes, I forgot that you did tell me that. Okay, got it.
It is a day, like many feminine things, like many things that in the past were very highly related to feminine energy. Nowadays, they're considered unlucky or, you know, for superstition, we try to avoid them. But it was really created at some point. And why Friday the 13th? Let's start from the number 13th. So in a year, we have about 13 moon cycles, which also correspond to 13 bleeding cycle of each woman.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, this is not where I thought this was going to go. Okay, good. Okay, let's keep going.
So this is a very, very feminine energy. Then I was born and raised Catholic, but I do not agree with many things. Yeah. So, for example, like if we talk about the Last Supper, I don't know how much people know about Catholicism, but when Jesus was, I don't know how you say it in English, crucifixed.
But I like it your way. For anybody who didn't listen to the episode with Viola before, you got to go back because she says things in a very special way. Now we know crucifix, but we also know herbs. Okay, so Viola perhaps could worm in her word. She doesn't say herbs. She says herbs. And she told me yesterday she's going to continue to say herbs. So there you go.
Isn't it nicer? Herbs?
Herbs. You know what? Anything that you say sounds much better than how I say it. So let's go. Okay.
All right. Herbs sounds too sterile to me. That's an H. I think we shall pronounce it.
Too sterile. Okay. So take your sterile crucifix and let's jump.
So For Christians, what is very important? Why did they become Christian? Because Christ was crucified.
Okay, keep going with his herbs. Okay, yeah.
And there's been a death and a rebirth. So that moment was really, really important. But the Last Supper before this happened, according to, let's say legend, because I'm not sure we know exactly the numbers, but according to a mix between legend and history, there were 13 people. So we still consider 13th an unlucky number, particularly in Italy, and I don't know if any other country, but it's really not recommended to have a dinner with 13 people because they think that the youngest is going to die.
What in the world?
And it is all because of the Last Supper.
It is because of the Last Supper?
Yes.
Oh,
some people, when you have 13 people for dinner, lunch, whatever, they would put one more plate. So they have 14 plates.
God bless. But you're just telling me how it's your favorite day.
Christmas last year in Italy, we were 13, and this year we're going to be 13 again, and I'm absolutely fine with the number.
And do you have all the same 13 alive with us, present, or did somebody keel over?
We're all alive.
We're all, okay, knock on wood.
We all survived it.
Okay, well, okay.
We risked a couple of them, but fortunately, they...
Well, I was going to say, okay, you guys, I don't know. And if you listen to the podcast, you're not going to be able to see it. But if you watch the clips on like social media, you notice that when I did ask if everybody was still with us, Viola sort of winced for a moment. So did somebody have like a close call? I mean, is somebody, or did somebody have an aneurysm, and thanks to modern medicine, they were resuscitated?
They were not the youngest. It was my mom and my grandma.
Oh.
But they're fine.
Okay. But the mom maybe, okay. That might have had something to do with you. Okay, keep going. Yeah, all right.
The 13th got this really bad rap, but really it is because throughout history, and that's another word you might gonna love, patriarchy.
Patriarchy, yeah, okay, patriarchy. We'll also take that.
Patriarchy, there we go. The patriarchy really tried to turn everything that is feminine into everything that is negative. Even sinister, when you say something sinister, is something bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite things to be is sinister, but yeah, keep going.
In Italian, in Latin, sinistro is the left, and left is the feminine side.
Okay.
So 13 is a very feminine number. I was born on the 13th.
And a Virgo.
But it was a Monday.
Okay.
It was not a Friday. My son, Leonardo, was born on Friday the 13th. My daughter was born January 30th. So the first two numbers are 1, 3.
That's really freaking weird.
So 13 is a number that I love. Friday, it is also a day that is very linked to feminine energy. If you think in English, Friday comes from the goddess Freya. Freya is a Norse goddess. And she, similar to Venus, she is a goddess of love, a goddess of fertility. And talking about Venus, if you speak like, for sure in Italian, Spanish, and in French, but probably other languages, is venerdì, viernes, vendredi, inspired in Venus.
Okay.
So all these Friday different languages, they all go back to female goddesses, very similar, because even Venus is the goddess of love, of goddess, of prosperity.
Okay, yeah, I'm 100% with you. I mean, to me, the net here so far is that it goes back to left-sided chicks who get their periods and men didn't like it. I mean, that's the right. I mean, that's the.
If you think about it, when someone have the period, we usually don't say it out loud. It's kind of almost considered shameful.
Okay.
I remember when I was younger and I was in school, if I had to go to the restroom to change myself on my days of period, I would hide, my pads in the pocket. And I'll be like, oh, can I go to the restroom? Like, really, and I remember my physical body, kind of shrinking and my shoulder down and try to hide myself.
That's called cramp.
Yes. I've fainted quite a few times.
Okay.
But the thing is, we consider it something shameful, but in reality, it's something incredibly powerful. Right. Take a man and make him bleed for 5 days.
They can't bleed for 3 seconds. I mean, don't even get me started on that. They can't handle 1 ounce worth of pain before the whole world shuts down. All flights would be canceled out of JFK, everything. I mean, there'd be nothing happening.
In ancient times, there were like huts specifically for women that were bleeding so that could have a moment of sisterhood. They could have a rest.
Yes, that's what they were all after. That's the smart ones. Those were the ones that should have said they were freaking hemorrhaging, because then they could have had like a 2-week break. I would have done that. Nobody needs divorce when you've got the hut, right? You can just take a couple weeks off every month. Everybody's great. Okay.
If I'm not wrong, I don't want to go too deep in something I don't know that well. There's one, I don't know if it's Jewish Orthodox or something like this, that during their period, they actually sleep in separate beds. And I think 7 days after the period, then the woman goes almost to a spa.
No, this like, is, I mean,
I've got the wrong religion.
But who knows? I mean, quite frankly, this is all sounding better and better. So you're kind of saying as if it was all shunned. No wonder they wanted to shun it, because half their workload was gone for being in the hut and then going to the spa.
Yes, exactly. Nowadays, when we have our periods, it doesn't matter. We're not supposed to talk about it. And we have to keep on going at the pace of society. It doesn't matter if we're not feeling great, if we're feeling grumpy or whatever.
Right. No, that's true. Okay.
There's a log of ancient Egyptians that they wouldn't go to work. And sometimes the reason was like, he's not coming to work because the wife is bleeding or the daughter is bleeding. Are you sure
this wasn't something from France? You're sure that it's Egypt? Okay, because they also don't like to go to work for different reasons. Okay, so the
No, it was ancient Egypt. Nowadays, I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
But the menstrual cycle is something incredible, something powerful, something related to the woman's ability to create.
Okay, but going back to Friday the 13th, is it?
Yes, the Friday the 13th is related to 13 cycle in the year. So this incredible power celebrated for a long time, 13 lunar cycle, and this spiritual ability. When we talk about sun and moon, the moon is more related to spirituality and to female energy, while the sun is more related to masculine energy and to something more earthy, less spiritual.
I think I relate to the sun. Like, I like to use it to beam on people, to burn and scorch.
You have a very high masculine energy.
You did not have to out that to everybody. Okay, thank you. I'm working.
There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. Masculine and feminine energy, it's not related to sexuality. It's more related to what you default to. Do you default more into action or do you default more into sitting down and thinking? Do you default more in being social or do you default more into being introspective? And then every single body has a bit of both.
Okay. Well, yeah, obviously I don't sit down and think about anything ever, which would do me a little better if I could. So how does it, so talk to me about Friday the 13th plus Mercury in retrograde, plus all these other things that are retrograde. And how does all that?
Oh God, there's so many.
I mean, it's a hot mess.
I have to hook you up with Ashley. She's an amazing astrologer and you can go as deep as you want with her. Friday the 13th is unrelated to the Mercury retrograde. What is related is just that people freak out. People, they're like, oh my God, Friday the 13th, I'm not going to do this. It's really unlucky. It's not unlucky at all. It's a celebration of femininity. And people, unfortunately, throughout the years have been demonizing.
But where did the 13th unlucky come? Like, who just did something? Like, was it like, Valentine who was like killed on the cross on the 13th? Or like what did something supposedly bad happen on a 13th that now they said, the
13th, 12 disciples plus Jesus in the Last Supper, they were 13th, and then he died.
Jesus died.
Yeah. But then consider that the 13th and the menstrual cycle and also Freya, they're all related, yes, to death, but death with rebirth.
Okay, so Jesus dies, and then like January 13th, AD 01 is all of a sudden a bad day?
No. Everything happened. I was trying to, wait, time-wise, where are we now? The church has been doing cancel, and all these cancels, they were only men.
Yeah.
So anything that was female related suddenly became evil. They've been burning witches. Right. We're still here.
It always comes back to somehow the burning witches. Okay. So And that has nothing to do with the Italian witches or them moving the olive oil or anything, but the evil eye that we talked about last time. There's no connection there.
No, 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 no. But also, like, for example, if you think snakes as well, this is another element that has been introduced. Like, for example, the snake was the devil and told Eve to take the apple. So again, it was the fault of a woman. The snake was there. The snake has been a symbol of femininity for many, many years because it has the ability, again, of rebirth because it sheds the skin. It grows. And when it's too big, it sheds the skin and it doesn't die. It's almost like a rebirth.
Did you just see this thing? It's always in Florida, where I know you are, Florida or Australia, where these snakes like go wild, like these pythons where I just saw this thing. It was maybe like on Daily Mail or somewhere really salacious where the snake ate the deer. The freaking snake? No. Yes, I think it was in the Everglades. I'm telling you, it's always in Florida or Australia. And the snake ate the freaking flipping deer, and the deer was in the mouth. So I don't know how much bigger that snake could have gotten. Those pythons ain't shedding in Florida because this thing is
probably the snake died because of the antler, unless it was a female deer. That snake
didn't die. This is the whole point.
So probably was a female deer because many snake dies when they eat cows because then after they eat them, the antlers, the horns, whatever that animal has.
Not only did I not know that a lot of snakes die eating cows, I never even heard of a snake eating a cow. So everybody heard it here. So, okay, you heard it here first, live with Viola of hothusband.com. Okay, Viola. So now let's go back to the Mercury retrograde and everything though, too, because the Friday the 13th, quite frankly, I can deal with. What I swear to you.
Oh, you can? Yes, it's amazing. I love it.
Well, what do you do? Do you have some burned sage, or do you go for a special walk with Luna, or what do you do with the kids, on the 13th? Do you have bake cupcakes? What do you do? Pretend to eat an affogato Viola's about 72 pounds soaking wet.
No, we spoke about this a few times with my kids. I think I want them to be aware, but usually rituals, we do them following the moon. Like, for example, because it's a full moon, then we will do a
moon ritual. So you're going to do your moon ritual tonight with the kids. What's that going to be? I'd love to hear this.
So what we're going to do, what we usually do, we write down, for Luna, I write it down because she's 4. So we write down 2 papers. One, not good intention, like the other ones are bad intention, but like intention of something that we want to add. So 1 or 2 things that I want to do better.
Do you know what my daughter would add, having just gotten her freaking, I shoot you not, 68 page or something Christmas list that she made on Canva with links to help and sizes, etc. I swear to you, she would say that I get my whole Canva Christmas list. So your children are probably adding something like, some nice joy for Leonardo, like Leonardo get a puppy or something.
That is about something that they will have to do. For example, I'm gonna help more mom in the house. Jesus. I'm gonna be kinder. I'm gonna, that it's something that they have to do.
Okay.
And in the other page, they write something that they want to give up. Like, I want to give up getting angry too easily. I want to give up eating too many sweets. Like something easy for them. I want to have less screen time.
Oh, something that, did you just say something that's easy for them or not too easy for them?
Not too easy, but also not impossible.
Well, that would be, you just named 2 things that would be impossible for me, to giving up sweets. And number 2, like my children with the screen time, that's also 100%. I mean, let's just have the moon show up and I'm going to give up my screen time. They'd be like, Mom, it's cloudy. There ain't no full moon tonight. Okay.
I allow them to fail. They can fail. And if they fail, we talk about it. It was like, why did you fail? Did you set something too hard? Or did you forget? Or didn't you follow through because, I don't know, we talk about it.
The next podcast, forget about the hot husband. The next podcast I want on is Leonardo and Luna to tell me how they tell Mama that they failed.
And then we burn the list of the things that we give up. So we burn it and give it to the universe, and then with the ashes, We put them in my
plants. Is there a particular plant? Because I know you got a lot of plants going on over there.
Plant new ones. They're growing already.
You got the peppers that were taken down in the hurricane recently.
Got potatoes.
They're growing already.
No, potatoes are doing amazing. You got some
potatoes or something that the husband tried to dig up while you were
very
gone?
Slow, but it's doing pretty well. Then I have pothos, Pothos.
Like the eighth wonder of the world, the Hanging Towers of Babylon or whatever. Is that a fruit or vegetable?
No. It's a regular plant. Okay, they're very good for filtering the air.
Okay, so you guys are writing a lot of notes if you got a lot of ashes to spread around.
No, we put them, each time we put them somewhere. But for example, the other day I finished my journal. When I finish my journal, I burn it all. So the other day were ashes for all my plants. Okay,
so has anybody ever called Child Protective Services due to the fire coming out of the building from your 3-year-old's burning thing?
No, we're very, very careful.
Okay, got it. And then what does the husband think about the moon cycles and all this?
So funny enough, he didn't believe anything before. But now, like the other day, talking about Mercury retrograde, let's explain to people that don't know what Mercury retrograde, what is all about.
I can't even imagine those people exist, but okay, let's explain to them. I mean, since my entire life is run by Mercury retrograde.
When Mercury goes in retrograde, it brings, first of all, because it's a real energy, scientific, it's not like, woo-woo. Sometimes with technology, you might have issues. Yeah.
125% of the time. I can feel Mercury retrograde showing up in the wind. Like the hair, everything goes haywire. Everything with the on-off switch, right? Or communication, potentially.
First day of Mercury retrograde, my husband couldn't work properly. He was like, oh my God, it's not working. I'm calling IT. And I was like,
oh yeah, haha. Okay. Yeah, you don't need IT. You need Freya, the goddess of love or whatever.
Mercury is a planet of communication, so it can create a lot of miscommunication. So during Mercury retrograde, something I always advise people is to speak as clearly and as detailed as possible, because miscommunication is going to creep in from everywhere.
Okay, got it.
But also, it brings up some work that we have to do. It can be an unresolved past trauma. It can be a lesson that we have to learn. And it's not a gentle, if I can say this way, you'll talk to Ashley, but if I can say this way.
Oh, Ashley's Ashley, let's go back, is the astrologer.
The astrologer.
So maybe Ashley's who we need next on here, because Ashley keeps coming up. All right.
Yes.
So we asked Ashley what happened.
So I feel that although it's an amazing energy because it brings up things that you're able to solve, it brings them up really aggressively.
Yeah.
Let me give you a silly example that I usually give to people. Suppose that in your house, there's a dead rat, which is one of the most disgusting things. Okay. The dead rat represents something that you haven't resolved, something that you haven't learned. Ideally, what do you have to do? You have to take the rat, bring it outside, and throw it in the rubbish.
In the rubbish, okay. You're not going to compost him. Okay.
However, it is a very hard thing to do. So,
because it smells and is disgusting hard, or because nobody wants to touch a rat?
And it's hard to do. But you would never take a rat and hide it under your couch.
That is correct.
Emotionally, it's what we do. Emotionally, when we have some traumas or some hard lessons to learn, we try to avoid them. So it's really as if we take a rat and we hide it under the carpet, under the couch, or whatever you want to, metaphorically think.
Okay.
What does Mercury retrograde do? Mercury retrograde is not the planet that comes and is like, oh, honey, there's a rat here. I'm going to take it out for you. Mercury retrograde comes into your living room, looks at you, is like, what were you thinking? Slaps you in the face, take the rat and throw it back at the center of your living room.
Mercury retrograde for me takes a village of 24 rats, puts them in my thing, and then turns the oven on and says, oh, it's Thanksgiving. Like everything is smell. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So Mercury retrograde forces you to face whatever you need to face and then deal with it. And then if you don't, it comes back again, Mercury retrograde.
Yes. Do you remember last time we were speaking about that one of the things I struggle the most here in Florida is the fact that I don't drive.
Jesus, excuse me.
Of course, I'm class parent.
You're what? Oh, class parent. I thought you were, okay. How do you be a class parent in the U.S.? That's all parents do is drive. That's like
Listen,
that.
I was class parent. No, I mean, I was in the PTA in New York, never needed a car.
Because nobody needs a car in New York.
I
Okay,
know.
so, why don't you come to California and be a class parent? You'd be fired in 3 seconds. Okay, keep going. All we do is get on the freeway. Yeah.
Long story short, it was the teacher's birthday and I needed to buy flowers. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk to the other side of the bridge, buy the flowers. Everything is sorted. Luna was really tired. She fell asleep. I felt too bad waking her up after school. And when I woke her up, the florist was closed. So I had to go further. So I tried to book a cab, but it was Miami Basel. There were no
Miami Basel. What? You mean Art Basel?
You know?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Art Basel in Miami.
Yeah. Okay.
So there were no cabs nowhere close to
And
me.
probably no flowers either. Okay,
The
keep
first
going.
one available was gonna get to me like in 17 minutes. I was like, no, I was like, it's gonna take me the rest of the day. I know how to drive. I can drive. I just don't want to do it. So I called my husband. My husband was in Mexico. I called him and I'm like, I can't find the keys of the car. I need the car to go buy flowers.
Immediately.
So he's like, okay, I took the main keys because they're together with his home keys, but the spare ones were not. I've been looking for the keys for you don't know how long. And I start getting really nervous and I start crying. I was like, oh my God, I'm
crying. Come on. What a stressful life you have. You're crying over the teacher's flowers because Luna needed a nap.
I felt so not independent and I felt very, very stupid. I was like, I've been here for a year and a half and I didn't own the fact that I can drive. I'm not driving. So it wasn't like the teacher's flowers or not finding the keys. It was, again, it's Mercury retrograde. It's about what it represents. It did represent the fact that I'm not independent. I need someone to buy a bunch of flowers, which is the most ridiculous thing on earth.
Have you heard of Instacart? I mean, doesn't Instacart deliver flowers in Florida? I mean, that's what they do.
It was not going to be the right time.
Oh, and plus you probably had to pick them yourself. Okay, keep going.
So long story short, we couldn't find the keys. Then he remembered he left the keys with the doorman. The doorman couldn't find them. I had to call a friend of mine and she came pick me up with a car and we came together by the flowers.
In tears.
And I was like, how did I get myself in these stupid things? I should be able to go downstairs, get the car, buy the flowers and come back in like 30 minutes flat. Instead, I lost maybe 2 hours.
Oh, and by the way, you now owe the other friend flowers too. So your flower delivery is multiplying tremendously. Okay.
So,
wow.
When I call again my husband, I was like, oh my God. And then, you know what he said to me? I was like, Viola, remember, it's Mercury retrograde.
Oh, bite me, pal. Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it. When he said that to me, I was like, lesson learned.
Okay, there you go.
So just for you to know, this week I've been driving.
Yeah, no comment on that in case there's a highway patrol officer listening, but okay.
No, I can drive. I just didn't want to.
I thought that you have a permit.
Yes, but I need an adult with me, but I've been driving.
Okay, so you've been driving with an adult.
I'm like a child.
Who?
I'm like a child. I need an adult with me.
Right, so who's the adult you've been driving with?
The weekend I drove with my husband.
Right, but we just talked about how he went night-night right now. So you're driving.
And now he's here. This weekend he's here. 2 weeks ago, he was in Mexico.
Okay, thank you. So the flowers have been handled. Mercury retrograde is everything is backwards. So what are you supposed to do during Mercury retrograde? Because it feels like Mercury retrograde is like 12 months out of the year. I mean, which it's only like 3 or 4 times a year, right?
3 times.
Okay. And then when you Google when is Mercury retrograde, it gives you the dates. But you and I talk about something that's, to me, like the most significant, which you call the shadow period. I call the bookends, which is like the time at the front of Mercury retrograde and the time at the back. And quite frankly, am non-functioning even more in the bookend time. I think it's worse than Mercury retrograde. It's like
the shadow period, like maybe a week or a little bit more before and after, they still have a little bit of energy of Mercury retrograde. It's like the full moon, full moon is one day, but 2-3 days before, 2-3 days after, you still have the energy of the full moon.
Yeah, but you told me like the shadow period, because I thought the shadow period is like 4 days or something, but then you said,
no, it's longer.
But you're like, oh, the shadow of Mercury retrograde, basically like forget the holidays and just kind of resurface at Valentine's Day.
Resurface on January 1st, I would say, yes. Mercury retrograde this time is going to end December 15th. But what I'm saying to people, like, enjoy the holidays and the season, you leave them for January.
Yeah, okay. All
right. Until the end of December. So in Mercury retrograde, I wouldn't take very important and particularly rushed decisions.
Okay. All right.
Oh, because the emotion, they're very, spiked. Be careful to what happened to you. Things that happen and that upset you are not there to hurt you, are there for you to see that something is not going in the right direction. That you have
well, everything upsets me. Okay. So let's just talk about the classic of classics, which is, and I'm trying to think, did I fall off that horse during Mercury retrograde or no? Was Mercury retrograde?
Shadow period, if I remember correctly.
Shadow period. Okay, yeah. So some of you guys know, some of you don't. By the time you listen to this, hopefully I'll be fine. Probably not. So I fall off the horse while I'm with my trainer in the ring. The horse gets spooked. The horse is the size of 12 polar bears. I get tossed. But I still committed to, and now remember, we've all talked about this with the whole Tito situation. Tito is the code name for the ex-boyfriend that I was in the hospital. I happened to be in the hospital 8 years ago exactly. Yeah, for those of you who, I think we talked about that on the Shelby Crawford or Christina Robio episode. But anyway, 8 years ago, so I'm in the hospital. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm in the hospital 8 years ago. Well, guess what? Then 8 years later, which is now, I'm in the hospital again because I got tossed by the horse. I didn't want to go to the hospital, yada, yada. Turns out I have the 2 fractured vertebrae and plus a host of other problems. So, but the challenge was that I had agreed to guest lecture at Georgetown. So I had 3 guest lectures at Georgetown and I said I could not, bail on those despite everybody telling me I needed to bail. And I was like, I can't do that. So I fly to DC and against everyone's better judgment, especially my sweet friend Juan Dangerous, who said, you're out of your mind. And he knew he was going to have to pick up the pieces, which he very much did. I fly to DC. My back seizes up like an hour and a half before the plane lands. Anyway, it was a total cluster. I get there, I do my classes, thank God, but I run out of OxyContin and I was trying to get myself off OxyContin, but who knew that in DC, I guess because it's a controlled substance, maybe not just DC, but other places you need the paper prescription for the Oxy. So even though I could get more, I couldn't get more. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to do these classes. Not that I should be teaching classes on OxyContin, but anyway, you guys get the picture. Point is, couldn't get that, in excruciating pain, do the classes. Then it's supposed to be very simple. Supposed to teach the classes, 2 of them on my birthday, which is December 5th. I'm supposed to finish. And then the next day I'm going to New York so I can be in the snow because I like to be in the snow on my birthday and we don't have a lot of it in California. So I think, fine, I'm going to take the train. I love the train. Any of you guys heard the last episodes with Christina or Shelby? We all know the train is what gets me in trouble because that's what happened 8 years ago with the train going to Portland. Anyway, get on the train in Washington, D.C. This should be very simple. DC to New York, change to go to the Hudson Valley. What happens? Freaking effer. The train, I kid you not, Mercury in retrograde breaks down. Now, mind you, I have no OxyContin. I have no nothing. And I'm sitting next to Juan Dangerous, who's sitting there telling me the whole damn time I told you so. And then every time the train is like jiggling and jerking. And I'm like, oh God, okay, just lost like one more vertebrae. And anyway, the train stops. It breaks down in the middle of God knows where in Pennsylvania, I think somewhere, for an hour. Shocker. We miss the connection of the next train. So now we are getting out of Penn Station with the luggage that I cannot carry in Friday afternoon in New York trying to find the car rental station. We rent the car. Now it's Friday afternoon. It's snowing or would be snowing later. We've got to get to this place. It should be very simple. I think it was like a 4-hour drive. I mean, it was just an absolute, as I told you, Viola, yesterday, I could have gotten to Egypt faster than I got from Washington, D.C. to New York. Okay. So basically I get there, we're there. That was pretty much I basically never really got out of bed except for like 2 little excursions that also almost killed me. And I think I should have just realized that at the very least, if I was going to go to DC, I probably should have just stayed put in DC, right? Because I guess what I did was I amplified all the times of communication with the prescriptions of the train. Of course, the train would break down. Of course, we'd miss the next train. Of course, we'd have to rent, of course. And then when I flew home this week, they freaking had to take me off on the wheelchair. So going back to the whole component of when you don't learn your lesson once, the universe comes back and drop kicks you Jesus through the goalpost of life to a new lesson. So would you like to just sort of comment exactly on why that, what is that I, can't learn my lesson, B, was defiant and said, because my whole thing was, listen, A, I committed, but the other thing too is I was like, B, I was like, I don't want to, well, as I say, I committed, but I was like, I don't want to be at home. I'm going to be uncomfortable and miserable at home, even if if I'm not in DC. So if I'm going to be comfortable and miserable, unless I want to stay on OxyContin for the rest of my life, which believe me, started to seem appealing, then I don't want to just be sad and be like, oh, I'm in my bed on my birthday when I could do something about it. So that was my thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to turn this around, right?
But it was worse.
Oh, it's 100%. The whole thing was just a shit show. But okay, so go on.
You have to learn to stay put. You have to learn that the healing process is not fast. It doesn't go at your pace.
Correct.
And it does bring some introspection.
Yes. It brings a lot of introspection. That's for sure.
Yes, and sometimes it's needed.
Okay.
Again, you're a high masculine energy. So it's like
I don't like that. And you're going to keep saying that. Okay,
beautiful.
Keep going.
Any kind of energy is beautiful for different reasons.
Oh, there you go.
The universe is like, okay, you're done being the sun.
Right.
Now you stay put in your bed. And instead of action, you're going through introspection.
Okay. Got it.
So Mercury came to slap you back and forth.
Yep. So now what am I supposed to be introspecting about? So, we're probably going to release this next week so people hear it in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde or whenever they're going to actually listen to it. But, Lord knows Mercury retrograde will be back again by the time. Basically got a broken back and I'm doing podcasts. But what should I be introspecting about during this next couple weeks, since I otherwise would be very depressed since it's Christmas and I can pretty much go nowhere?
Do you remember? We read your card yesterday. I don't remember everything by heart. And also, I don't like to disclose things that we speak about.
But you will. Okay, got it. There's always a dolomite and a rainbow tanzanium and something else. Okay,
yeah, the Tanzanita. Yeah, it's beautiful. Actually, let's talk about the Tanzanita. Tanzanita was Tanzanite. Sorry, I was just said it in Italian. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
The Tanzanite that came up in your card is an amazing crystal. It's a crystal of great transformation. And for you, it was particularly because we were talking about how you need a deep change so that goes from the inside to the outside. So it starts at a deep and cellular level.
Right.
And I don't know if you know how the Tanzanite has been found. Tanzanite is considered a really, really recent gem because it has been found at the end of the 60s. It was about.
Please don't tell me that it has something to do with blood diamonds or something that I'm going to get in trouble for disclosing.
Not as far as I know, hopefully.
Okay,
no.
okay.
Well, Tanzanite,
not like Sierra Leone,
as you can
or
imagine by the name, it's found in Tanzania.
Okay.
How do you say the bottom of the Kilimanjaro?
Is that close to Sierra Leone? Because that's where we're going to get into blood diamond territory. Okay, keep going.
Not super close, but it's a continent, but not that close.
Okay.
So in nature, it's kind of brownish, yellowish, which if you think crystal-wise and chakras, it is related to the lower chakra. So it's related to grounding, to the body. It has been found after a big wildfire started by a lightning.
By a lightning. Okay.
Yeah, because did I pronounce it right?
It's perfect. You pronounced it just perfectly. By a lightning. Okay. Yeah.
Because the heat turned the gem from this brownish yellow to a purplish blue.
So we're back to the violet haze or whatever we talked about last time.
Okay. So it is a great stone of transformation because it goes from the lower chakras to the higher chakras, because everything that is blue and purple is mainly related to the third eye. If we talk blue, it relates also to the throat.
Right. Okay.
So it's like it's bringing you from the most earthy and grounded and material self to the most spiritual.
Got it. Okay.
It's a beautiful crystal. If I had to recommend some crystals to have with you during Mercury retrograde, the main three ones are blue lace agate, carnelian, and black tourmaline.
Wow. Okay. Why?
I don't know, like people are going to hear, but I'm going to show them for whoever wants to watch the video. So the blue lace agate, it is a crystal that is very linked to the throat chakra. So all the communication, misinformation, misunderstanding that can go wrong during Mercury retrograde is eased. Also, blue lace agate not only ease communication, but it soothes the mind. So oftentimes we have a hard time communicating properly because we have so much in our head and it's so hard to translate what's in the head, that if we have a clearer head, of course, we'll have a clearer communication.
Amen. Okay.
Something I love about this crystal also is that it really stimulates honest communication without letting go of your boundaries. So for example, you ask me, how am I doing? And I put my hand up and I tell you, I'm okay. You know I'm not okay.
Right.
You know, you don't need like a PhD to realize that I'm not okay. Instead, with the blue lace agate, you are able to say something closer to, I'm not that great, but I don't want to talk about it now.
Okay. That's good.
So you're being truthful to yourself. You're being honest, but at the same time, you're setting up your boundaries.
Without killing the Christmas party buzz necessarily.
Exactly. Oh, yes. If I can say these three crystals during holidays, I would have them in my pocket.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, tell us what the other one is now. The next two?
The carnelian.
Okay.
The carnelian is a crystal that helps learn and process unresolved past traumas. As Mercury retrograde usually brings up a lot of these, a carnelian might help you balance out the stronger energy than Mercury.
Okay.
Also for women is an amazing crystal because it's related, like we were talking about at the beginning, with the menstrual cycle. So it really helps women leaning in their natural power.
So you take the carnelian into the hut and hang out for 2 weeks. Then you don't have to get divorced. All right. So now what's the third one?
Not least, a black tourmaline. The black tourmaline is, first of all, amazing for electronic pollution.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The citron is very good for that as well. But in this case, I prefer a black tourmaline. First of all, because, we have a lot of technology issues. So it's nice to have a black tourmaline around. Yeah. But also because the black tourmaline grounds you. When we have problems, when we have anxiety, when we have all happen in the head.
Yeah.
So we tend to disconnect from the here and now.
Yeah.
So the black tourmaline grounds you and it's like, okay, we're here and now. Stop, wandering with your head and solve what is right in front of you.
Yeah.
Second, it helps with the letting go of anything that no longer serves you.
And that's the black tourmaline. I need me a case of black tourmaline delivered. Okay. It helps letting go.
Now, listen, I even make kits for Mercury retrograde.
Oh, you shut up.
I do, because I think it's such an intense moment of your life. I was preparing it.
Well, okay, wait a second. Okay, so you just were in my whole freaking online class about like what you're going to promote, all this stuff. And you freaking, I've never, like, why don't you text every client you have and say, I've got my Mercury retrograde kits?
I built them recently. And actually, I was taking pictures this morning to send them to you.
Well, do you have a link where people can get the Mercury retrograde kits? Jeez.
Business is not my strength. They can DM me on Instagram, or they can email me at viola@feelandheal.me.
Oh boy. Okay. So, and the Instagram handle while we're at it is what?
Instagram is at feelandheal.me.
I'm glad you said the at, because I don't think anybody's ever been. Nobody's ever been on Instagram. Okay. Feel and heal. Okay.
I'm a Virgo after all.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. So anyway, we're back to the second black obsidian situation helps release what you got to let go of.
Black tourmaline.
Black tourmaline releases what you, because the black obsidian you said that's danger, right? You got to be very careful.
It's very powerful. So it's not a crystal I would use randomly without guidance.
Okay. Maybe I had some black obsidian with me when I was riding that horse.
It is beautiful, and it can be really, really helpful. They sell a lot of black obsidian also because I believe they sell it not only because it's beautiful, but it's more affordable.
Oh, okay.
However, the intensity, when I work with people, is not the first crystal I recommend. After a while, I'm like, okay, we can use the Reiki I did on you yesterday. I put a black obsidian.
Oh yeah, because I needed a major overhaul. Okay, so it's not the tricycle.
It's not something I would put like.
It's not the tricycle of crystals you want, but it's the John Deere tractor.
And it is my favorite crystal. I always have one with me.
Oh, you do? The black obsidian?
Mm-hmm. Oftentimes in my bag. I don't keep it on me, but I bring it with me. That if I feel the need, I take it out and I hold it with my hand.
Wow. All right. Okay, but don't use that lightly. Okay, got it.
No. I don't use it lightly myself, so I wouldn't recommend to anybody to use it lightly.
All right. So how do we tie this all together here? We've had a train wreck in Mercury retrograde. Obviously, we know Mercury retrograde. Yes. By the way, I've had all these issues with trains now that as soon as I name this podcast every day is a train wreck. We got all kinds of course, the train would stop. It didn't wreck. Thank God. Okay. So we talked about the women in the huts, the carnelian, how to survive Mercury retrograde, the Friday the 13th. That is actually a good thing. All your kids have some kind of estrogen-based 13th birthday version. The husband's back from Mexico. Glad to hear. Anything else that should put this in a bow? We talked about Freya. We talked about the goddesses. What else?
Have to put something short together. I would say Friday the 13th, if you want to celebrate yourself, your femininity, yourself as a woman, your femininity, connect with the cycle of your body. It's a full moon today. So if you have crystals, put them outside.
Yeah. Okay, put them outside. So now when people listen to this, it might not be the full moon, but they can check on the calendar when the next full moon is. They can take the same advice. Doesn't matter if they're listening to this 10 years from now.
You can put the water out, charge, and then you can drink it. If you're working on your femininity, you can put a carnelian, you can put a rose quartz.
Oh, I love how you have that snarky, ridiculous smile because you're saying like, in case you're working on your femininity, Marley, I'm going to send you a case of carnelian. Okay, thank you, witchy witch. Okay.
No, I think you can absolutely use it, but something I really love about you is that you are aware of your own power. You don't throw it in people's face, like you don't do it in a pretentious way, but you just own it. It's like your power goes with you, even for example, with the way that you're comfortable in talking about that the life is a train wreck.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like you know your power and you accept the fact that it doesn't always go.
No, 100. By the way, could we close this out with? Do you see any evil eyes with me? I mean, do we have to do any more of that clearing? Because by the way, the other thing, other than the hot husband comments, the other thing I got like 1,000 times was, how are my evil eyes? And I quite frankly forgot to check back with you again on that. Did any of them come back? or no?
I think you're fine, but I can do it again this weekend or next week.
Please do it. Maybe this weekend, Viola. Let's not let grass grow under our feet with us, because those evil eyes just freaking sprout like mushrooms for me. So, and everybody's like, oh, I can't believe you had all those evil eyes. So I didn't even know to be as scared as I should have been. But okay, got it. Okay,
and
so
when it comes to Mercury retrograde, just remember, when something goes wrong, first of all, stop and breathe.
Yeah.
Because it's a moment that we get overwhelmed quickly, and is the Mercury retrograde is the best moment to do the wrong things.
Okay, got it.
So you just want to stop and breathe it out. If you can move the decision to January or to after the end of the shadow period, let the decision soak. If not, make sure that there is someone that you trust and that is outside of the situation that can bring some light. Because it's really hard to take decisions during Mercury retrograde. Back up your devices.
Yeah, but the photo. You know what? So funny you said that, because you asked me that yesterday, and I actually had a dream last night. It just came to me right now. I had a dream that all my photos were erased, and after I just told you, everything's backed up, blah blah blah, and then I had a dream that everything was erased. So. Okay.
And if you want to have with you, you don't have to buy them with me. There's plenty of places out there. If you want to get some crystals to have with you, I would recommend blue lace agate, carnelian, and black tourmaline.
Okay. And then everybody can find you on Instagram at feelandheal.me. You're trying to tell me your Instagram is at feelandheal.me?
I am trying to tell you, yes.
Okay, for some reason I just thought it was at Feel and Heal. I didn't realize it was .me.
That's the .me as well. Because when I looked for the website, the .com was not available, or there was some problem, so I put the .me. But then people automatically put .com, so I was like, I'm going to put it in my Instagram so people will remember.
That's a Virgo for you, born on the 13th. Okay, so all right, Viola Murrone. Say hello to the husband, Luna Leonardo. Luna's got a big day today with the full moon. I appreciate having you again. Thank you for the education on Mercury retrograde. Those of you who are non-believers, just unfollow right now. No, I'm just kidding. So please share this episode with a friend. Follow, please comment, please give stars so that I can put the next child through college and Viola can do the same. Okay. Thank you, and I will end with our new signature sign-off, which is the conductress saying, whoo, whoo. That's my train whistle. Okay, there you go. All right, you guys. Thanks. Have a good one. Hang in there with Mercury. Chat soon.